What up, guys? Welcome back to my F1 2020 My Team career mode. It's Joe here and we are now at Russia. If you haven't seen the last one from Singapore, I urge you to go and do so. This is your last chance before spoilers to do so, so if you haven't, go check that out and come back here. Right, so after bottling a certain win in Singapore, ending up with damage and struggling to maintain P4 with damage, we now move on to Russia. It's a whole new race and I'm hoping that we can be competitive. All throughout qualifying we've had some very encouraging pace, and now we're in Q3 seeing where we can stick it within the top 10. I'm hoping this should be a good lap. We're using all the circuit and maybe a little bit more, and we set what was enough for pole position there, but unfortunately by the end of the session both Bottas and Hamilton manages to jump me, so both Mercedes getting ahead of me. Then it is the two arrows on the second row, so it's still a good start though. I'm confident that we can make something from this from P3.
Welcome one and all to today's Grand Prix here in southern Russia. A beautiful location besides the Black Sea, and a race that has been dominated so far by the Silver Arrows. Mercedes have won here 6 times in a row since the first Sochi Grand Prix in 2014. Can someone else muscle in on that record here today? It's full throttle for around 56% of the lap here at the Sochi Autodrome, a 3.6-mile run around the site of the 2014 Winter Olympics. 12 right turns and 6 left turns give us a total count of 18, with passing opportunities available into turns 1 and 13. And with me as usual is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Antoine Hubert. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have old-timer Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Vettel, Ocon, Sainz and Daniel Kvyat, Perez, Albon, Lance Stroll and Hubert, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen and Kimi Raikkonen, Grosjean, Russell, Latifi and Lando Norris starts from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Right then, we are P3, we are making sure that we have got the right strategy. It's a one-stop race as tyre wear around here is just basically non-existent. We got the 5 red lights. What can we achieve here? It's lights out and away we go, and straight away we've got a better start than Hamilton. I'm trying to stick it around the outside of Lewis. Next up is Bottas. Lewis still alongside me. We're kind of boxed in a bit here. I'm going to see if I can go through the middle of both the Mercedes. We've done that and we have taken the lead of the Russian Grand Prix by turn 2. Now we have to try and hold out for Bottas because he's going to have a look here. But we shut him straight down. Bottas with no way of attempting it. Well, that's not the best exit there. And Bottas now having a look up the inside. Try and take the lead back. But we're just going to hang around the outside. And Bottas almost understeering into us. He has to back out of that one. But we have maintained the lead on the first lap. So that's a good start. Possibly as good of a start as we could have expected from this race. And we're going to try to get away if we can. But Bottas is not letting us get away. In fact, everyone within the top 5 staying quite close to us here. And Bottas getting a run there. But just not able to make anything of it as we go a little bit wide. I'm pretty sure using part of the circuit that's not the circuit, but we'll gloss over that. Lap 5 now and Bottas having another look. It is hard to hold him back. We've given him pretty much just the width of an F1 car. He's not going to use all the room though, and in fact I think he might have nudged us a bit there. But We still hold it around the outside and are still in P1. It's very hard to hold on to though. Valtteri very determined at this early stage to try and get past us, and I feel like he has to do it early because we're having the same issue here. Where at the beginning of the race we just seem to be struggling a little bit for pace. Bottas coming down the inside as I've gone a little bit wide there. Once again trying to hold it out around the outside. I'll have the inside line round there. That was a mistake I could ill afford. Can't really be dealing with too many of those today. But we have managed to keep hold of the race lead. And I'm just clinging on because I've run out of ERS here. That's never going to be a helpful thing at all. But on lap 6 we're still holding on to the lead. Even if we are just holding on by the skin of our teeth here. It's still the race lead. But now we come up to another lap, and once again we're running a little bit wide, struggling around this part of the circuit. And as we rejoin, Bottas gives us a nudge, and I think that's a piece of his front wing coming off as he gives us the nudge. I feel like, I don't know who's to blame for that one. I feel like maybe I could have given a bit more room, but I needed to get back onto the circuit. And where Bottas wasn't positioned, that wasn't allowing me to do so, so I'll put that one down to a racing incident. But as we return out of the pits, Bottas has lost quite a bit of time with that damage because he chose to stay out, and as a result that has cost him big. But right now we're behind Stroll and Giovinazzi. We've come out of the pits and we just need to get on it and try and keep our race lead if we can. Some decent outlaps here may help us, but now Giovinazzi is right in my way and I need to dispatch these two as quickly as possible because otherwise they are going to hold me up. But Leclerc, who I think was behind me, is still behind me. In fact, he's got Perez for good company as well, so we should be fine here for now. It's just a matter of trying to find a way past Giovinazzi, which we have done there. And now we're coming onto the back straight. Are we going to have enough of DRS to catch up with Lance Stroll? I do not believe so at all. In fact, we're nowhere near enough DRS to catch him. So we're probably going to have to hope he pits or try and pip him just after turn 1 going into the first heavy braking spot of the lap. But again there, using that wider line, I'm not quite sure why I favoured that particular line because it doesn't do anything for me. But it is what it is. Albon ahead of me pitting then. He should fall behind me quite comfortably. And now we're lining up a move on Lance Stroll. Isn't for position, by the way. We're just racing him and trying not to be held up. In fact, Albon and Kvyat have also pitted. Perez hasn't yet though. And this is round the outside of Stroll. A comfortable move to take the race lead back and resume it as we were. Obviously, the Racing Points needed to pit at that point, and they did pit. But after that, nothing of any measure really happened at all. It was just a very eventful, quiet race for us. But we managed to storm ahead while all the other cars were battling the AI that didn't pit. We were able to pull out about 1.5 to 2 seconds a lap at one point. So we really nailed the second half of this race, and as a result, we are now about 15 seconds ahead of second place Charles Leclerc and Hamilton getting third. I don't know where Bottas, our main championship rival, is. So this is a handy amount of points that we are clawing into him here as we come up to the last corner. 2 corners to go, now just 1. And we have taken the Russian Grand Prix. It is another race victory to take us that much closer to the title.
A great race then, and a fantastic win here in Sochi. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure. Let's see what effect this result has had.
A pretty uneventful Russian Grand Prix then, as you would expect from a Russian Grand Prix at this point. And in fact, Bottas only got 9th, so that's a nice haul of points we've got on him there. Somewhat through a controversial incident, but you know what? It is what it is, but Bottas getting 9th and Ocon getting the final point score. It's a decent haul of points for AlphaTauri with Kvyat as well. Ricciardo and Albon 7th and 6th. In the top 5 then were myself, Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen and Vettel. And I'm quite proud of that race. It's a win and a fastest lap, and we are now 31 points clear of Bottas. It is looking like very little can stop us taking the championship. Once again in that race though, Hubert just outside of the points. I need my teammates' assistance here, and I'm just not getting it. So I'm really considering who my teammate is going to be for Season 3, because I don't feel like he has really earned it at this point. He's just not where I need him to be. Well, I'm going to leave you with the race highlights after this race then. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching. Don't forget to leave a like and punch the sub button. You know, join the family. Plenty of room for everyone. And we'll look at my points tally in comparison to Hubert. I think it is time to consider a new teammate. We're still second in the Constructors' Championship though. And it looks like we are pretty set on taking that as long as Red Bull don't have a massive resurgence. Well, like I said, I'll leave you with a highlights reel. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all soon.